Welcome to another episode of the No More Interruptions show. I'm your girl, Hazel, founder of BGI & Co. and Big Girl Interrupted. Ladies, it's time to join the conversation. In this podcast, we'll explore areas of a woman's experience with confidence, from relationships to personal, professional, to employment, to education, entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
love, marriage, divorce. There is nothing that we will not talk about. Everything is open, and all while we are learning to develop a positive mindset. And today I am so excited to have on the show Joanne.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me,
You're
Hazel.
welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for saying yes.
The year of yes.
Yes. So tell us about who you are, what you do, before we get into the nitty gritty of stuff.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm Joan, and I am the founder and the chief product officer at the Good Success Planner, which I started just before the pandemic. It's a planner that I use as a tool or a vehicle to just demonstrate to women that God has a plan for their lives. And if they trust that plan, it will work.
Mm.
So I'm really passionate about women,
Yep.
passionate about teaching the things that I know from a biblical mindset and sharing how it is that they can incorporate that into their daily lives as they plan work, whether it be career, whether it be ministry, whether it be business. It's all possible to do all these things side by side with God.
Amazing. And it's so true.
It
So
is.
true.
It is. It is.
But I
Hmm.
want to take you back a little bit
For
or
sure.
current. Um, and how do you got to this process? How do you get to where you are? And like what was interrupting your life? Or what areas of your life are you currently experiencing interruption um, that led you to this journey of the planner and this mission that you're on?
Wow, that's a great question, and it's a big question too. I would like to think that the reason why I got on this journey is some of the unplanned ish in my life, right?
Hmm.
I've shared with you before, you would know that I became a teen mom just about on the verge of my 20s. And so that was unplanned. But
Okay.
yeah, right. And as I journeyed through life, overcoming some of these hurdles, um, getting married, planning my wedding,
Mm.
um, and then subsequently having unplanned losses, I started to reflect, leaning into what God was showing me that He really has a plan for my life. But the pivotal moment for me was when I was getting married and looking around, I realized that there wasn't a planner on the market for women like me, women who wanted to
Mm.
have scriptural references, scriptural motivation, and scriptural tools that would help
Mhm.
me with my planning and help me with organizing my life and achieving my goals.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So through that process, before getting married and getting towards achieve creating this planner, this amazing planner, what were some of the limiting beliefs you were experiencing during that process with yourself?
So I think if I were to look at my life in stages,
Mhm.
someone once, told me, I think this is perhaps what happened to me. Like as I looked at my life in different, like 10-year um, gaps,
Yeah.
and I realized that my first 10, I was okay. My next 10, that's when, my first unplanned thing happened.
Yeah.
Um, but I managed through that using some of the tools that I'd used in my earlier years. So I love to write, I love to read, I love prayer, and I know that God answers prayer. And
Mhm.
so as I was thinking about some of these things, that's how the planner came into focus. But just to sort of go back to where, where it all began and some of the things that I had to overcome, it was
Mm-hmm.
overcoming the fact that I can still succeed even if I made a mistake or something unplanned happened, because my daughter is one of the most beautiful, magical blessings that
Yeah.
I have to show for
Mm-hmm.
those first 20 years. Um, and then subsequent to that, I, relocated, came to Canada, and it was a different terrain. It was a more challenging terrain because I had not experienced racism and discrimination and some of the things that may seem normal or a part of life for some, and who have become accustomed to or have develop their systems of how to handle that. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. And I think I've had to deal with some of those things. And so I took to paper, my pen, prayer, writing, and just allowing God to lead me in the direction that He had for me or has for me.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So were you raised in the church, I'm assuming? Church.
I I want to say that I was raised in a Christian home.
Okay.
I eventually settled into what I felt to be the church that I wanted to be in. Totally different from my childhood experience. But yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Awesome. So what are some of the, because you have this planner, I'm going to go
Mhm.
back to the planner, but with yourself, what are
Yeah.
some positive mindset things that you do now?
Mhm. It's a mixed bag
Sure.
for sure. So inside the planner, and
Mhm.
I know you've taken a look at that,
Yeah.
I definitely lean into prayer a whole lot.
Okay.
Though, it may seem simple, a
Mhm.
tool, but for me, it's that space where I can unload, unwind, talk to someone who I believe understands me. So prayer is one of my go-to. Declarations also another powerful go-to for me. So,
Mhm.
I'm speaking God's word over my life because I don't want anything said about me or over me or to me that I'm not
Mhm.
willing to receive, right? So
Right.
I can do all things, I believe that I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. And so these mantras, declarations, saying these things, they really help me to keep my mind positive,
Mhm.
believing that ultimately God will complete the work that He has started in me. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Beautiful. I like that. And do you have like a routine in the morning that you do?
So for me, the biggest thing really is, as I said, I'm married.
Mhm.
And so one of the things that is an absolute must is prayer in the morning with my hubby.
Uh-huh.
And I think after that, we drink water. Water. And that's a habit I cultivated since getting married. I
Right.
drink water is the first thing that goes to my mouth. And I
Mhm.
want to say this happens 98% of the
Oh,
times.
beautiful. Good.
Yeah, yeah. Most mornings I'm drinking my water first thing. If not, it may be a cheat day when I'm just like, oh man, I need a rush. So it's not always perfect, but water is my first thing. I like to make my bed.
Mm.
I like to make my bed. So that's also one of the things that I do in the morning. When I'm firing on all cylinders,
Yeah.
I'm exercising and lifting some weights. But I will confess that it's not always smooth sailing. And I
Right.
lean into that because I feel like just as God gives grace, I can give
Mhm.
myself grace too.
Yes, and we have to. It's important because
Yes.
life isn't perfect.
No, it isn't.
No, no.
For sure not.
And it likes to throw
Yes.
curveballs at us.
Yes. Absolutely.
And it's all about how you absorb those curveballs and take it
Mhm.
in and
So
like,
true.
okay, accept it. Okay, it's here. What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, that's certainly my mindset, and I know that's yours too, just based
Mhm.
on, hearing your own story and knowing that I can resonate with what you were saying because um what do you do when, life becomes complicated? You never planned for that
Yes.
complication. You never understood, you know,
Mhm.
how, it's just one of those complications that happens and you're like, oh, and you know what? You're like, okay, fine, let's figure it out. And
Yeah.
so learning to bounce back it's a powerful tool as you're navigating life, and it will certainly help you as you're, going through other setbacks and challenges in
Mhm.
life. Mm.
Yes, yes. So, with that being said, do you have a reset plan?
So I had to go look up what you meant by that reset plan. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
You know what? Everybody. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everybody's reaction to this question.
I was like, I'm gonna go research this thing. So I did my research, and I want to say yes, I have a reset plan, and I'll just tell you my own perspective in terms of that reset, and that
Yeah.
reset is really about how do I empower myself to keep going,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And so instantly I knew that I have a reset plan. So as I mentioned, it's the things that you do to keep you going. So it's going to be my prayer, it's going to be my declaration, it's going to be me
Mhm.
planning and making sure I have a clear outline, step by step, what actions I need to take next, and also giving myself the grace I mentioned.
Yeah.
If I don't accomplish all the things, allowing myself to reflect and to see where it is that I need to make adjustments in order to stay on the path that
Mhm.
I like to say, God has for me. So how am I accomplishing these things? If I'm not doing it at the moment, okay, fine. You're human. How can I then adjust?
Mhm. Mhm.
These are some of the things I use personally to empower myself to keep going, knowing that, I'll eventually get to my goal.
Mm. So, you said the key thing there because we skipped it a little bit. But
Mhm.
what are some things that you want to achieve in the next, let's say, 5 years?
Mm. It's funny that you're asking me 5 words because I know you said somewhere. But to be honest with you, because of my professional background,
Mhm.
I really plan in shorter phases, and the reason for that is that in corporate, people hold you to these roadmaps, right? To say you said you're going to deliver X, Y, and Z. But when you look at it in shorter stints, whether it be maybe, quarterly or even annually, that's not bad.
Mhm.
Or 6 months, whichever is most comfortable for you, then it makes it more, um, it's more practical
Right. And achievable.
and achievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, I've, you know, moved between first half of the year,
Mhm.
second half of the year, and oftentimes quarterly.
Mhm.
So in terms of what I want to accomplish within the next couple of months, I've been sort of sharing very lightly on social media some of the things I struggle with because I want people to recognize that even though I, promote the Good Success Planner, plan, have
Yeah.
that intention of having a good relationship with God and working with Him side by side to accomplish my goals, I struggle
Yeah.
still. So at this point in time and in this season of my life, I am praying, and I find that I spend a whole lot of time in the prayer
Mhm.
um, about what I'm struggling with now, which is to get to a particular point in my corporate journey, right? So
Hmm.
that's the focus for me right now. I definitely want to get to the top of my game in my career. And so that is a huge focus. And outside of that, I have entrepreneurial goals as well. So my intention within the next little while, within the next few months, is to expand my product line and to take my business, just a little bit closer to where I'm hoping that I will end up, which is, one of the biggest stationery brands
Hmm.
um, in Canada and America. So, North America really. That's my main markets.
Yay! I can't wait to see you. I have my planner, so I can't wait to see you in the big box stores.
Yes,
I know her.
absolutely.
I know.
It's on my vision board. It's on my vision board.
And it will happen when
It
it's
will.
supposed to happen,
Yes,
right? It will happen when it's supposed to happen.
that's right.
That's the power of the vision board. So, okay, with all that excitement, your goals, and I love that you have a reset plan. It was I love that you actually looked up what a reset.
Yeah, research.
No, because some people are like, I don't know what a reset
It's
plan is.
okay.
Maybe I do it. Maybe I do. It's good. I like it. What are you doing to celebrate yourself? Celebrate your achievements, the big and the smalls.
So little things. So I give myself permission, one, to share my achievements on social media, because I also want those who use the Good Success Planner to use the tools I've given them to celebrate those small wins.
Yeah.
Right. So in the planner, you have the opportunity to say, hey, I made that phone call, or I made that, did that live, or I repaired that relationship or made attempts to repair that relationships. And just being able to say, I did this. That's one. So
Mm.
I'll share some of those things. I completed a course and I'll share that on social media. So one, sharing. Two, I like to I like I like quiet moments, a cup of tea, relax, think about it, feel good about it. Maybe even shouting, screaming, dancing, because I find that sometimes you've worked so hard on achieving a particular goal or making a particular step. The struggle is real because sometimes we are hesitant and we're stuck
Hmm.
and we
Hmm.
don't take action, right?
Yeah.
And when we do take the action, when we do accomplish, we undervalue that step that we've struggled for so long
Yes.
to make or to take. And so I like to remind myself to consciously do that shout, do that post, to share it, or just be excited for myself, because sometimes
Hmm.
I think we win and then we get to that state of
Quiet.
um, sadness,
Yes.
or like, okay, it was nothing, but it was something.
We
And so
downplay it. That's what we
yeah.
do.
So it's important to celebrate. And for me, it's, as I said, the sharing, taking a moment for myself, absorbing that, encouraging myself to say, you did that.
Hmm.
It's those small things to celebrate me and to just motivate myself to keep going.
Yes. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, beautiful. I'm so glad that we were able to have this amazing conversation and for you to share.
Yeah.
Um, but now it's time for some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Sure. Let's see.
Okay. So, what are 2 to 3 action steps that you would recommend a woman right now, um, who is experiencing an interruption in their life? What are 2 to 3 steps that they can take that you would recommend they take?
Okay. So 2 to 3 steps
Yeah.
to help someone who may be experiencing an interruption. First off, I've experienced interruptions and a lot of unplanned ish, as I mentioned before. And the first thing that you want to recognize is that If you live to see another day, it means that you will survive it. That's the first thing. Like I always go back to this, and I even take it a step further.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, will it matter? A
Mm-hmm.
year after that, will it matter? It just will not matter. You can overcome your hurdles, the obstacles, the setback. It is all a part of helping you to grow. And
Mm-hmm.
so my mindset is look at it as temporary and an opportunity for growth. The steps for me, it's go back, pray. You've reflected, pray about it. From a
Mm-hmm.
Christian standpoint, that's me. Then I'm going to say, revisit the plan. Revisit your plan. How is it that you are going to adjust or make adjustments that will help you to get closer to where it is that you were intending to be before that interruption?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Amazing. I love those. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, who is someone that inspires you?
Oh, wow. Do I have the opportunity to share more than one?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
So, first off, I want to say that my parents are my
Mm-hmm.
biggest inspiration because I've seen my mom go through 40 years of having lupus, and she's still standing, still giving, still loving, surviving a heart attack, still standing, still serving, and still giving. My dad, who has just been there 110%, he is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my little world, it's my parents.
Beautiful.
And and they inspire me too in terms of how to be a parent, in terms of how to be a wife,
Mm-hmm.
and to keep my marriage going.
Yeah.
We've gone 50 plus years. Yes, excited for that. So yes, it has to be my parents. And then on a larger scale, I am thinking about Michelle Obama. She is
Mm,
phenomenal.
yeah.
Her book, The Light We Carry,
Yeah.
it is full of gems.
Mm-hmm.
And I would encourage anyone to read that for practical tips on how it is that you can achieve your goals, how it is to live, with your family, with your all your relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful book that inspires and encourages you to be a light,
Yes.
be kind to
Yeah.
others, and to step outside of your own domain and to think about what others may be going through and still carry yourself with grace and with dignity.
Yes.
Really love her.
Yeah. I read it, listened to it, and then I watched it.
Woo,
Yeah.
that book.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot. What is a non-negotiable in your life?
Non-negotiable. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be God. It's gonna be. I'm gonna talk about God like all the time, all the time. God.
Ah, nice.
Mhm.
Okay, so what is your self-care activity or experience that you do?
Okay, so I have small ones, like I mentioned earlier. Just having that cup of tea,
Mhm.
having that moment, taking a day to do nothing because that's okay too.
Mhm.
Um, but one of the or the things that I love to do would include, and I talk about this all the time, road trips. Road trips with my husband, with my friends, and usually the destinations, they have been like ridiculous. We've driven from Canada to Florida, but I really love going to the water. So
Mm.
waterfalls, Canada is beautiful, yo. So waterfalls, the lakes, there are some beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful lakes. And so I live for the summertime. Unfortunately, we have so much smog right now, but
Yes.
I love the water as a form of therapy. It's really very therapeutic for me. Oh, it energizes me.
Wow, we are so aligned because I live by the water.
Woo! Wait! Woo!
'Cause, yeah, it's my home.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I love, and I can't swim.
Like, I can do a little swimming, but I'm just like, it's just the sound,
Yeah,
the sight,
yeah.
just
The
the,
big body of it, like your
yeah.
thoughts just go like you think, and it's like it's you can see your thoughts floating in the
Floating.
water.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it refreshes me. So,
Mhm.
at normally looking forward to the weekend and being able to do something of that sort, and then
Mhm.
entering into my week with that memory, that energy,
Yeah.
that really, keeps me
Yeah.
going.
Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was
Thank
an
you.
amazing conversation. I really enjoyed myself, and I loved that you shared your true like self in terms in like in the planner. I'm using my planner in August because I start my year,
Eh,
so I purposely bought it because my year starts in August, so I'm starting it in August, but I'm excited. It's still in its box, ready to go.
Beautiful, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed. For me, I am sure you're going to enjoy just putting your pictures on the vision board. Like I tell
Yes.
people, it can be words or it can be pictures.
Mhm.
And this year I'm using pictures, so I just printed small miniature versions and stuck it on there. And I
Ah,
think things come to life because this podcast is, yeah,
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 yay.
prayer answered.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here and being on your show. Big Girl Interrupted. Love it. Love what you're doing.
Thank you. So before we leave, officially like sign off, tell people how they can find you, how they can connect with you. I don't want that to be missed.
Okay, for sure. Thank you so much. So I am on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and Pinterest. uh, it's the Good Success Planner for sure. So I'm on all of these, huge platforms, and I'm growing my audience there. And I would love to have more people, more women joining me so that I can continue to share this whole message of trusting God's plan for your life,
Mhm.
because I really do believe that God has a plan for every woman on the planet. And so if you follow me at the Good Success Planner everywhere on social media, not on TikTok yet, but I may get there soon.
We need to get there.
Um, yes. And so, yeah, you'll find me there and you'll continue to, engage with me. Say hi when you come by.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. Thank
Thank you so much, Hazel. It was great talking to you.
you too.
All right.